Lexie, whether it's diving on the floor, tipping balls out for rebounds, all of the little things that you do to impact this game, how do you describe the desire in you right now?
I mean, we want to win. We want to keep playing. We want another game in Vegas, so that's what we're fighting for. We don't want our season...
Missing 6 core players, including Caitlin Clark, this team was supposed to be finished. Instead, they handed the Las Vegas Aces a brutal postseason wake-up call, and the player who made sure the sting burned deepest, Lexie Hull. Aaliyah Boston locked up Aaliyah Wilson on defense, Kelsey Mitchell torched the scoreboard, and the rest of the Fever rallied like warriors on a mission. This wasn't supposed to happen. Outside of Indiana's loyal fans, no one believed this short-handed squad could push the 2-time defending champs to the brink. But here they are, forcing a do-or-die Game 5 with a trip to the finals on the line, and to top it off, Lexie Hull didn't just dominate on the floor. She clapped back at Aaliyah Wilson's post-game meltdown, cutting down the so-called MVP with words as sharp as her defense. Hull made one thing clear: Indiana won't bow to the league's favorites. That if you're riding with the Fever, drop a fire in the comments.
You've got the momentum right now. You can close it out and force that Game 5. What are the most important things here in the fourth quarter?
Keep them off the free throw line, knocking down shots, and just sticking to our scout. I think we've done a pretty good job of that so far, but just keep it going for 10 more minutes. Thank you.
What happens when everyone counts you out? Analysts dismissed them. Odds makers laughed. The Aces came in confident, expecting to cruise. But the Indiana Fever, bruised, undermanned, and missing half their roster, refused to play along with that narrative. This wasn't just another playoff game. It was survival, and they played like a team clinging to their last breath, refusing to die quietly.
You've been in a back-against-the-wall situation just last round where you had to win 2 games in a row. Just what's the mindset kind of going into this game?
No, I mean, it's desperation. And it's not a reckless desperation. It's just a desperation in terms of the urgency that you have to play with. We have been in these situations. We've been in lots of different situations throughout the course of the season. And our players understand what we have to do. We have to leave it all out on the floor.
Picture it, a 6th seed, limping into the semifinals, staring down the star-studded Aces, champions loaded with talent and trophies. Vegas walked into Gainbridge Fieldhouse ready to close the door, but instead walked straight into chaos. By the final buzzer, Indiana had flipped every expectation on its head and delivered one of the grittiest postseason wins in franchise history.
This is a way of getting your game pick. Do they do it again today and end this thing? 3, 2, 1.
Yes!
That's not an answer. 3, 2, 1.
The Fever haven't lost back-to-back games, right?
The Fever have never lost consecutive games at home in the postseason. And one other thing, let's show Steph White very quickly. Our incredible researcher, Jenny, went through the tape and found that when Steph White wears her red leather jacket, I do believe we have some video of that, they are undefeated. Perfect 4-0. Does that change your mind at all? Is that your pick?
Yeah. Let's just go with it.
You're going Fever?
No, I'm not. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I can't. Drea, make a pick. You haven't done it.
I'm struggling.
Make a pick.
I don't know. I'll tell you what. Make it for the
Do it now. Do it now.
I'm going to go with the Aces. Okay. We'll decide.
The adversity went far beyond injuries. A veteran leader left mid-season for Phoenix. The officiating had been tilted for weeks. Every challenge that could hit this team did. And yet, they never folded. This was their 3rd elimination game of the playoffs. Twice before, they've been pushed to the edge. Twice before, they fought their way back. Game 4. Just another test of their will, and they passed it with fire.
I can't even lie. After last game, I thought the Fever were done. I didn't know if they had any more fight in them. They looked tired. They looked kind of beat up. And somehow they come out today in their Stranger Things jerseys, which, by the way, I think have magical powers. They come out in their Stranger Things jerseys and beat the Aces. And they beat the Aces even with Asia scoring 31 points, I believe it was, playing so much more efficiently than last game. And somehow they come out and win this game with their backs against the wall, win or go home game, and force a Game 5 against the Aces.
Indiana valued every possession, hustled for every rebound, and stayed disciplined on defense. Their composure rattled the Aces, turning every Vegas mistake into momentum. By halftime, the champs' trademark swagger had evaporated, replaced with frustration. Then came the defining moment. Becky Hammon called a timeout she didn't have. Technical foul. Shock across the Aces bench, and suddenly, the pressure flipped, all onto Vegas.
Now they're going back to Vegas, but at this point in time, how do you ever bet against the Fever? They've had 18 players play on this team this year because of all of the injuries that they have, and they have hardship contract players that they signed a month ago who are starting for them. Like, it's just kind of, it's really just wild at this point. I don't even know how to predict Game 5. They could really pull it off. Could you imagine they go to the finals? I mean, I guess stranger things have happened.
This wasn't luck. It wasn't a lucky bounce that it was pure grit, strategy, and belief. Indiana didn't just survive, they declared themselves one win away from their first finals appearance in a decade. Boston and Mitchell rightfully owned the spotlight. But instead of showing respect, Aaliyah Wilson reverted to her usual script, post-game complaints and finger-pointing.
But Aaliyah did say I have a special whistle, and she shot 13 today. Yeah, she said it last game I had a special whistle.
That box score, I'm wondering what's really standing out to you there.
I was just looking at the fouls. Like, Liz had 5, Jackie had 5, Chelsea had 5. And that's very interesting to me because I'm not saying we don't foul. Yeah, we foul here and there, but that's very interesting.
Think about this. The Aces spent 3 straight games benefiting from soft whistles. Then the one night the calls actually evened out, they cried foul all series long. Aaliyah Boston got tagged for every bit of contact. Kelsey Mitchell got hacked on drives with no whistle. But when the Fever finally earned calls by attacking the rim, the Aces lost their minds.
For Becky, certainly felt like a differently officiated game than other parts of the series. I think we had more defensive 3 seconds today than any other part of the playoffs. I just wonder how you felt about the overall flow of the game.
Well, they shot 34 free throws and we shot 11.
Becky Hammon's frustration boiled over. Every Boston bump brought another exaggerated reaction. And after the game, Hammon's only words were, "They shot 34 free throws, we shot 11. Next question. No breakdown, no accountability, just irritation that the whistle wasn't one-sided anymore.
I go back and look at the tape, but it seemed like there was a lot of grabbing and holding down there. That got called one way. Anything else? I did appreciate it was a little tighter called, but tighter on both ends would have been.
Indiana's free throws weren't gifts, they were earned. Boston fought for deep seals. Mitchell and Sims attacked downhill. The guards forced contact. That's how you draw fouls, Vegas. They settled. Wilson lived in mid-range purgatory while her teammates floated on the perimeter. You don't get calls if you don't attack. That's just basketball.
So many other plays where it felt like Asia was bullying other players on the Fever, and I want you to watch this play here with Lexie Hull. She's standing her ground, she's trying to down screen, and Asia just chucks her to the ground. Now there was no whistle there, and you can see ref number 16 right there. He's watching the whole thing happen. No whistle, they just kind of let it go.
Across the series, fouls were practically even. Game 4 wasn't a conspiracy, it was balance. Indiana finally imposed its will. The Aces just didn't have answers, they lost because Indiana executed. They attacked mismatches, moved the ball, and made Vegas defend every inch. And when Becky Hammon burned a timeout she didn't have, Indiana capitalized, turning her mistake into points and momentum. No rigging. No bias. Just domination from a team everyone counted out.
What do you think of the job Aaliyah's been doing this series?
I mean, she's a force in the paint, and we wouldn't have won last night's game, any of our games without her. So I'm proud of her ability to be consistent and continuing to impact the game, not only offensively, but her ability to impact Asia's game defensively has been huge for us this year.
And then came Lexie Hull. She gave credit where it belonged. Aaliyah Boston, the anchor who locked up the reigning MVP, sure, Wilson scored 31. But every one of those points was a battle. Boston contested everything, cut off drives, and punished Wilson on the other end, dropping 24 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists in one of the most complete performances we've seen all season.